Hello and welcome to my gallery here in southwest France. I'm Diana, I'm a watercolourist. I paint here in La Galerie de Gabriel, and I also have a YouTube channel, Enjoy Watercolour Painting. Today's subject is in the background, the autumn leaves that you see on the trees in the place behind me. I've collected some of the leaves this morning, and we're going to do a study of a group of leaves just to try to capture their beauty and their colour. So stay with me, let's paint. Now you can see I collected a whole box of leaves, just wonderful colours. Some of them are still wet from the recent rain we've had. And I chose to arrange them on a wooden board here, and then I've taken a photograph. I've taken the photograph because these leaves will soon dry and become wrinkly and change, and it's important for me to try to retain an image of what they are now, with the water sitting on the leaves, with the colours as they are. They will change, they will go wrinkly, they will be a different image altogether, in effect. Just even tomorrow they will change. And so I think if you're thinking of having a go at this subject, pick your leaves, arrange them, and then take a photograph, so it can be a point of reference. If you're going to start painting right away, then yes, and carry on. But often watercolours are done in stages. We leave the paint to dry, we come back, we add more detail. And so it can be over several blocks of time. And it makes sense to have a photographic image to work from as well. So this is what I'm going to do. I will have the model as it is arranged on the board by my side, but I will also have the photograph, because this will be the ongoing reference that I can use right through the process. The first thing I have to do are to find the palette, the colours that I need to use. So stay with me. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel, Enjoy Watercolour Painting, and do leave your comments. It's good to know what you like and what you don't like. It's good to have that input. I really enjoy the comments. I do appreciate them. So off we go. As you can see, I have 5 palettes here organised. One is out of shot, which is red palette. We have Scarlet Lake, Permanent Rose, amongst others, but I think those are the 2 we're going to be using. We have Payne's Grey Indian Red palette for the darker areas, a yellow palette with transparent yellow and lemon yellow, an orange palette with transparent orange and Scarlet Lake, and yes, another orange palette here. So plenty of lovely warm autumn colours. I have the image here and the actual leaves themselves on the board, and I have a piece of Arches watercolour 300-gram paper, and I have done a preliminary sketch. It will be hard for you to see, I think, but I've used a brown watercolour crayon, which when we apply the first wash will blend in with the colour, so it's just to give me a guide. I am going to concentrate on the 2 principal leaves here in the photographic image. the rest will be less important. And so in the image here, I have emphasized those 2 leaves. But this isn't going to be a watercolour where we fill in the detail first. I'm going to start with some broad washes, incorporating the colours we have here. So I'm going to have fun with paint. So join me in that. Happy painting. I have all my palettes ready to go, and I'm wetting the paper with the mop brush so it's shiny wet. It doesn't matter if there are some little gaps in the wetting process because we need some life in the painting, and we can always intervene and add water to them if need be. I'm starting as I usually start with transparent yellow, just running the colour. It's not a good idea to try to have the colour in certain set places with this. It's just an all-over combination of the basic colours that we have, the palettes, the orange, the red, the yellow, and I'm just moving the paper just so that it flows. And you can see I am just using the brush now just to spread the paint a little more. But we don't want it to mix totally. We want those colours to still be separate and visible. And once we stop interacting with the brush, the process of mixing the colour will still continue on its own. Before we carry on with today's video, I just feel I must share with you the wonderful leaves that Nicole brought this morning when she came for her painting class. They're just so wonderful. How can I resist? They're just beautiful. A lovely mix of reds, yellows and darker colours too. So this subject is going to be ongoing. I find myself totally distracted now, but I'm going to carry on with the subject in hand. So stay with me while we take it to the next stage. They're just so wonderful. I just love them. Now you see that our wash is dry and we have a bloom at the top, which the blooms happen, especially if you're using a lot of water and paint. And that's okay, we can incorporate it into the picture. And now I'm redefining the lines of the leaves that I did before we did the wash with the brown crayon, just to be sure that I know the position of the main leaves. But I'm also using the acrylic flat to move the colour. This works really well on this colour combination, and you can see that I can emphasise the highlights of the different leaves, and so I can get an idea of the composition. Having done that, we start to focus on the main leaf, which is the one in the middle of the image that has that wonderful combination of yellows, Indian red, red, and I'm starting with the liner brush with the tip of the leaf in Scarlet Lake, but adding as I go Indian red. And you'll notice that there are little serrations on the end of the cherry tree leaves, and I'm using the liner brush to get that toothed edge. And I'm not afraid to let the colours combine, because that's how they are on the leaf. You'll see that there are some yellow areas. This is an unusual pattern on this leaf, and so I have outlined them already, so I know which areas to go around, and I'm using the Indian red to block in the colour around the shapes. Also, keep your brush strokes short and apply the paint according to the direction of the ribs of the leaf, so that you get this texture that you see on the leaf itself, working towards the central rib. So you're doing one half of the leaf first and then going across to the other half. And it's good to soften the edges by just adding water or a pale wash as you go. Now I've started on the other side, and you see I'm working right to left now towards the central rib. This is quite important. How you apply the watercolour paint will be visible on the finished subject. If there's a lighter area, leave it. You can go back to it and add colour or just clean water to soften the edge and make it look more natural. And this is exactly what I'm doing now. I've dipped into the, I know it's out of shot, but I've dipped into the lemon yellow palette. Lemon yellow is an opaque yellow. That means it has some white, opaque white mixed with it. And so even if we were applying it on top of other colour, we see the yellow. And you see it there in the larger area on the left-hand side of the rib of the leaf. Such a lovely mix of colours, this leaf. Really beautiful. Now I'm adding darker colour on top of the yellow because there are little smudges and you can see the ribs of the leaf in the yellow area. And next to it we have a little yellow leaf. I think it's a silver birch or a birch leaf. And I can do an all-over wash of lemon yellow to start. And the edges of the leaf, sorry about the reflection in the photo, it's just difficult to stop that happening really. But I'm now going to put an edging, a darker edging around the yellow leaf, just to indicate the areas that are brown. Pay attention to the detail. Look at the leaves that you want to paint in detail closely. Use a small brush and don't be too general. Just do each little bit in turn, adding water to soften it as you go. We're not going to do this with all the leaves in this study. These are the two main leaves that I'm spending time with. And as you see, there they are. They're dry now. So what I'm doing now is to be more general with the leaves that remain. I'm using a wash, first of all a pale wash, sometimes of pink, well usually of pink really, with some yellow, and just helping to create the light and dark areas of the leaves as you see them. This can be fun because you're not adding too much detail and you're kind of contributing to the composition and the whole shape and movement of the picture. And you can make them really pale for a start and then add more colour as you go, which we will do. We've got lots of lovely shades here. Indian red keeps cropping up, and the scarlet lake and the permanent rose, and we can mix them all to create the different shades. So don't be afraid to try out different combinations to see how they work. I've got two brushes that I'm using, a smaller mop brush and my liner, so I can go to each for whether it's more detailed or more general colour. I'm working my way down the image, adding colour as I go. Notice I'm keeping it paler than the main leaves, which are the subject of the picture. They're the highlight. Although you could do more, but not a great deal more, because you don't want too much clutter, too much detail to distract the eye. There has to be a focal point, and the two leaves are it really. There's a dark leaf bottom left, which I want to be kind of in between with the detail and the contrast. So I'm adding more detail here, and it's got you can see the ribs of the leaf and the dark shading. And so now I'm coming back to emphasize some of those leaves that I've already got in situ now. and darkening the colour as I said I would in some areas. Not all over and not all the leaves. You can pick and choose according to how the picture looks and how you feel about it. The important thing is that you enjoy it. That's the most important thing. Don't stress out about it, just enjoy the pleasure of putting the paint on the paper. That's what it's all about, really. Now I'm going back to that darker leaf at the bottom left, just emphasising the shading to give it more importance in the composition. Again, working from the centre rib outwards. This is important. Painting leaves, it's almost as if you're painting the leaf itself, that you've got the leaf in your hand and you're applying the brush to it, so you can feel the shape of it as you go. I think we're nearly at the point where I'm going to call a halt and assess it when it's dry. Yes, I think so. I could continue with more detail on more of the leaves, and also I can add a little bit of shading in the central part where the more detailed leaves are, just by wetting the area and spotting in darker colour to give that feeling of shadow. But I don't want to do too much. I don't want it to be too contrasting. I want it to be quite subtle. So I just add water first, with perhaps a little bit of paint, and then spot the shading in, just following the line of the leaf. Taking it down a little like this, just to add importance to the leaves that are more defined. This painting could go on and on. It's not good to put too much detail or more detail in all the leaves. You want some to be less important. And I've just highlighted the ones here in the middle of the painting. But it is a pleasure to paint an individual leaf and to add the lovely mix of colours that you see in these autumn leaves. So I think for the moment we'll call it finished. I hope you enjoyed my video. The sun's shining today, it's a lovely day, and it's shining on the leaves of the cherry tree behind me. I hope it's encouraged you to have a go at painting the beauty of autumn leaves. I'll leave you the image with the image here. And if you haven't done so already, please don't forget to like and subscribe and leave your comments. Till the next time, happy painting. Bye.